very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I'm very thankful to the DVK College and the International Conference on Library Space and Content Management for Networking Society for inviting me to this particular conference as a plenary speaker. In my paper, I have presented some of the aspects of content management, both in bibliographic formats as well as in non-bibliographic format. In fact, my present interest is on non-bibliographic format, and I am doing some work on the analysis of the content, particularly on cartoons, stamps, coinage, and historical monuments like temples and the churches. In fact, I was fascinated by looking at some of the oldest churches from Goa, and some of the churches are as old as 400 to 600 years old. And another area that actually I did the metadata was on paintings and medicinal plants. Even before the concept of metadata came into existence, I made an attempt to develop the metadata for the paintings. And in fact, I used Ranganathan's 5 fundamental categories, PMEST, to derive the metadata concepts for the different kinds of non-bibliographic items. I am also interested at present regarding the content analysis of the TV advertisements. I would give one simple example how the TV, in fact, the content management systems like Drupal and Joomla and even the WordPress, the TV advertisements, they are using these softwares. And how actually the TV advertisement use these content management aspects. I will give one simple example, and we can also find out some errors in these TV advertisement contents. Most of us from India particularly might be knowing there is one advertisement on Brookband tea, and in which a Muslim lady invites a pair, a husband and wife, to come and have a tea because they are searching for the keys of their apartment. Now here there is one very emotional aspect, probably many of us might not have observed. The advertising people have used the secular aspect, the Muslim lady inviting an Hindu for a tea. This is the secular aspect. This is in fact a very interesting aspect of India. Part of India. Another, actually, I identified a flaw in this particular advertisement. The husband says that I get a fragrance of the tea. After this particular dialogue, the lady who is actually preparing the tea, she pours the tea powder in the boiling water. Because here the logical sequence is wrong. That's what is my perception is. Okay? After pouring the tea powder in the boiling water, only the fragrance will come, then only the dialogue should have come. This is what actually I perceive, because I see many advertisements and I have a very, okay. Okay, you can ask, you can add something afterwards, okay? Then there is one more advertisement where the son is going to the hostel and mother says that this one pack of shaving cream is not sufficient to you. I say, how the mother would know about this? I mean, these are the some of the actually how you can analyze the contents of the television advertisements. Okay, so I am nowadays I have just developed some kind of interest to analyze it, because we librarians are good in content creation, content development, and we can identify what actually the gaps in the content and how really we can develop the content. So I am using first, at present, I am using two different domains. One is the library and informed science, that is bibliographic content management, and how the conceptual basis of the bibliographic content can be, they have evolved into the web content management. Okay, this is my presentation. In fact, content development, content management, underlying basic concepts. Then the overview of the library practices like library classification, cataloging, documentation, information services. Then we come to the machine readable content, particularly in the catalog. Then World Wide Web and the virtual environment. These are some of the areas. First is the library context, and the other is the non-library context or non-bibliographic context. I am not going to discuss more about this. I am just giving how the content is understood in different environment. In library, how it is understood. In journalism and mass communication, how it is understood. For example, whenever the elections are going on, we find the analysis of the constituents. So this is again the content analysis and how content is brought. And there is also format for the content in different domains. For example, in library you have a different domain, a different structure. In journalism you have a different structure of the organizing the content. Now the changing concept of the dimensions of the library's content development. For example, we know the clay tablets, manuscripts, papyrus rolls and papyrus libraries, chain libraries, traditional libraries, library classification and cataloging, documentation, information explosion, information services like SDI, one of the very interesting aspect of the content, impact of ICT and the World Wide Web, digital library and virtual library. Now this is very popular picture of the chain library on the web. And this is in fact a real library. It's not an hypothetical example or hypothetical picture. It's real virtual, chain library, and how the content is managed when the books were very precious and the reproduction of the books was very, very expensive, and only one copy of the book would be available in the entire world. This is the example of a clay tablet. So the cuneiform writing and how the clay tablets were used. Okay, this is again a bibliographic form of the content. Then we have the web or the website. This is the Bangalore University website or the home page of the website. Now we moved from the chain library to the clay tablet to the web. Underlying basic concept of the content. In fact, I would like to bring to your knowledge the concept of the document visualized by Dr. Ranganathan. And the document consists of three important components. One is the soul, that is the content. The subtle body, how the content, expression of the content. For example, dictionary, arrangement of the content, expression of the content. Then the gross body, that is the physical embodiment of the document. Only now the physical embodiment of the document is changing. From clay tablet, now we have come into the virtual content or the virtual body. We have within us a virtual body, we have not realized it. Our brain is a virtual body. I have seen many of all of you, I have been seeing all the last 2 days I am seeing, that memory is there in my mind. But it is not like your pictures or like you here. So similarly in the web also it is similarly in the same virtual expression. We are not realizing our brain is nothing but a virtual content embodiment. All our pictures, all our speeches, everything, all sounds, everything is there, but it's not represented in real manner. It is in its own way of representing that particular content in my brain. And I can relate. As soon as I see you, immediately I can recollect. Then my brain has a kind of reflection, immediately recollect that, okay, Madam Baby is here. That is how actually the content is reflected. And also in the virtual, the same way it is being reflected and retrieved by the virtual environment. Then we have the cataloging practice. Again, we have evolved different cataloging systems. We have different catalog codes. As the content changed, for example, earlier we used to catalog only the books, periodicals. Now we have cartographic materials. Now we have non-book materials. Now we have electronic resources. Now we have computer files. So we developed the cataloging rules and rules for cataloging of different kinds of, then the content management comes into being. So we have several of them like the ASCR, ISPDs, CCF, Classified Catalog Code of Dr. Nathan, authority files, general material descriptions to represent different kinds of materials. Then we developed a machine-readable catalog, which was developed by the Library of Congress. It has been considered as one of the international standards on bibliographic record formats. Then we have web or the digital content, metadata, markup languages, content management systems, e-learning systems like LMS or Moodle and other things. They are all content management. Overview of the library practices. For example, library classification, content representation. For example, our class numbers, they represent the content. They represent the subjects. Okay, we have much more descriptive account of providing using the Nathan colon classification. We can even represent a sentence or the entire title of the document. Call number, class number, book number, form represent. In fact, Dr. Nathan book number can be extended to represent the physical embodiment of the documents. Library cataloging, content descriptions or the bibliography descriptions. So inner forms of catalog and outer forms of catalogs. In fact, we use inner forms. For example, when you see a catalog card, I am coming to that one. Here is an example of a catalog card. See how well structured is the content of the document, taking into consideration the user's approach to the information. User's approach to the information. Entire catalog card, it is really very fascinating. In the 5x3 size card, you are managing the content in such a wonderful way that entire content of that particular document you are representing and giving it to the user. Really most fascinating thing, 5x3 size card. And see the order in which the different fields title, because the approach, as the cutter says, do you have a book on a given author, on a given subject, or on a given title? So we present all these three contents which are sought by the authors, which are sought by the users. The user come to the library with a subject approach, author, and the title. So actually the catalog card represents that kind of a user's approach to the document or user's approach to the information. Now these are the different material descriptions. So we extend, as the libraries started acquiring different kinds of materials, so we added new components, new material descriptions. We represent that in the catalogs. Okay, we formulate catalog rules for cartographer material, non-book material. We try to represent them with a kind of a different coding systems. This is the marked record format, how the content is managed. The machine can process the entire catalog system. You add the content according to the tags, because the computer can understand only the tag. He doesn't know what is title, what is author, what is the ISBN number, and everything. It will understand only by the means of a 3-digit tag. And we are providing that. Okay, this is actually, we are moving from the physical environment to the machine environment. These are some of the examples of the tags of the mark record format. Now coming to the web processing tools. In fact, I start from the word processing. Okay, because I have used the word processor right from the word start. And actually we are also using some of the, at the DOS environment, some of the character processing editing systems to write programs like COBOL and other things. So that is actually the character processing. Now later we come to the sentence processing, like checking the sentence and formatting the sentences, using the different fonts, highlighting them, bold letters, italic letters, and like that. Then page formatting. Okay, then how actually the content development, content management has changed. Afterwards we used OLE, that is object linking and embedding. Now anybody is preparing a CV for presenting to an employer, they can use the word processor, including they can just embed a photograph, also an email, and also link that email to his email ID. Entire thing, word processing. You can use the MS Word now, you can use it for all this. Now how actually it has come. Then web content management system, HTML, editors like Netscape, Homesite, Dreamweaver, MS Publisher. Really, I don't know, many of we have not exploited the MS Publisher. This is very simple content management system. I say before we go to Joomla or Drupal, I think we must learn MS Publisher, which gives a very elementary idea of the content management. Very simple. Each one of these systems have got further templates. In fact, Joomla has got the templates. Each one has a template. Suppose you want to prepare for this particular conference, you want to prepare the brochure. If I got time, I can just continue. Okay. So you want to prepare a brochure, I can just click on that, I get several 20 or 30 templates. And this is an offline content management system. Joomla or the Drupal, they are the network or the online content management systems. You can network them. So this is very simple. And if we start with this, we can understand the higher level or the complex content management system like the Drupal or the Joomla or the WordPress. This is very simple. So we have about so many templates are there, and we can learn the content management by this. For example, I want to design a greeting card. I can use this particular, and there are ready-made templates are available. I have given some examples of the HTML. Tim Berners-Lee was responsible for bringing out that. Okay, and this is the static and content management system. We can use the HTML, and this is the beginning for anybody to learn the web designing. Then we move to the dynamic XML, the extended markup languages. And I have given my own example. I can prepare my address system, and I can, you know that I need not have to tell the difference between the HTML and XML. HTML, you have to use the assigned tags, whereas in XML I can use my own tags. I also given the example of the RDF. Here I have used Dr. Rajkumar, the film star of Karnataka, whose MP record I can just click on there and I can play that particular record using the resource description form. This is an example of a CD of Pandit Ravi Shankar's, 1 minute, I'll just complete it. So this is the web content management system. They are taken from the Wikipedia. There are 3 different categories of content management: offline, online. In fact, what I said about the MS Publisher is an offline, or your catalog is an offline, whereas others software like Joomla and other things, they can be used for the networking systems. Now these are the examples of the very popular content management systems: Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, TextPattern and Express Engine. Thank you very much.